Hello, everybody. How are you all doing today? It's now Tuesday, April the 16th. It's about 2 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Manitoba, Canada. And we're going to do a technical analysis on Bitcoin today. So Bitcoin broke out relatively big, speaking from the perspective of what price we were at, right? We were hovering between 5,000 and 5,100 and we broke out. So I'm going to try to provide you guys with a lot of different technical analysis throughout the day. And I hope that you guys follow me on Twitter as well, because that's where the majority of the information will come from. But I'm going to try to do it on here as much as I can as well, because I know a lot of people don't use Twitter. Okay, so first of all, first thing to always do, we're about the midway in the month. Because of that, let's check out how this monthly candle is doing. And it is doing fantastic. Check this out, guys. We have only trended half of the month so far, and we're actually going to surpass last month's volume already. We have, and we're probably going to surpass the previous month's volume as well. Let's just say proportionally, the month before, in February, Bitcoin did 376,000 on Bitfinex, and we're at 255K. So if we just doubled it up, we'd be at over 500,000 Bitcoins compared to February's 376K, which is actually a lot more, right? It's like 30-40% more. We're trending right around these EMAs, like around the 8, 21, and 13. So the month is looking amazing so far. Let's actually see one more time the month, the RSI. All right, we're finally starting to uptick very consistently, guys. It's a good sign, okay? Now, it doesn't mean that it can't just, tick up and then back down. That's possible, right? But we got to go with what we see, and what we see is that it is looking bullish. There's no other way to see it. You wouldn't be able to say that in February, that's for sure. But the bad thing I'm worried about, guys, is that on Sunday, so we're now 2 days into the week. Oh, by the way, hi, guys. I decided to put another camera up. Why not? It's not really taking a lot of room, and I'm actually very conscious of it. So I just want to give you guys a little perspective of where I work. I literally work from this sofa, okay? And I have an 82-inch TV in front of me, or it could be an 85, I don't know. And yeah, I like to work on the sofa now. I don't really use the desk a lot. So if anybody's interested in my 49-inch curved screen, widescreen monitor, and my rig, if you guys saw it, I'm selling it. If anybody wants Philakone's PC, because I'm actually moving to Montreal, and I'm also getting rid of my desk. Altogether, it was like a $12,000 setup, I think, just for my workstation. But I realized I'm moving. I'm going to buy everything. I'm going to lease the place furnished. I'm not going to bring anything because it's too much furniture. So very quickly saying it that if anybody's interested in my actual computer, it's not, any special computer, but hey, it's my computer. If anybody wants Philakone's Crypto's computer, let me know. I'll write down my specs for the next video and on Twitter as well. So the weekly candle was nasty, guys. It ended up closing, rejecting right at the 50 EMA or 55 EMA with a really nasty doji candle. Do you guys really think there's going to be an uptrend after a weekly doji candle? I don't know. Maybe, right? Maybe. At the end of an uptrend, right? When we get a doji, it's usually not good. We're not talking about a doji like, somewhat at the end of an uptrend. We're talking about doji at the very top of the uptrend, right? Like this one would have been very indicative as well that there was going to be something happening in the week, right? We got a doji there. It dropped about 36.87. But this doji here, for example, is a little different, right? We had a huge rally. Yeah, people thought that we were going to end up breaking down, I bet. But it doesn't always mean it's going to break down. But it just means that the momentum has slightly shifted, okay? Because it's slightly shifted now to the side of the bears, that's why this momentum is starting to roll over. So what we try to do, in my opinion, but for my strategy, what works for me is that I try to catch the rollover, right? As it's, making those S-curve shapes. We're trying to see where the momentum rolls over. And here, the momentum clearly rolled over. All right, so now on the 2-day chart, right? Excuse me, my lips are really dry. I should find some chapstick right now. On the 2-day, you see that the doji rejected at the 200 moving average as well. But on the daily, we swung right above the 200 moving average, and we're now going to get some sort of golden crossover in that range. So the goal, regardless of if we break above it or not, it's easy in my opinion, right? It breaks above 53.20-ish range, long it. If there's sufficient volume and it's looking really good on the level 2, and there's a lot of orders stacking up, you would have no reason not to long it. But then if we break down, I'm even happier with that because We want to stay above the 200 moving average, right? Especially above the 55, so we can get this potential crossover. If that crossover happens, it's going to be beautiful. A lot of people will end up longing. I'm sure of that. Now let's break this down very heavily from the perspective of, you haven't seen this chart before. How would you do it? Okay. Well, first of all, the way that I would do it is I would draw my supports and my resistances. I would hunt for them. Okay. So I'm going to try to draw the best that I possibly can. Okay, I'm gonna go to, for example, a 2-hour chart. Let's go. I would draw like that, right? Right across here, the 33 something region. 33.20 is a strong resistance to me. And then I would draw it like this as well, okay? Perhaps something like that. That's a pretty good one, right? Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty good. So now we've isolated the area where we think there are major resistances and supports. Now, your major resistances and supports are different than mine because I'm a day trader. So your resistances you might be looking at, from an investor perspective, very far back, right? If you're a swing trader, you might not be looking at the same interim, which means the most recent one. If you guys have not heard that in trading before, basically the most recent, swing lower, swing high. So now that we've got this structure identified, would it be safe for us to assume that because we all see the same thing, that a prophecy might be fulfilled? That's kind of the beauty of TA. If everybody sees the same thing, it might actually have the same reaction that we're expecting, right? So now that we see this coming, we're also going to demarcate it further, okay? We're going to break it down. That's kind of my style. My style is to break down where the heck are these resistances and supports, and once they hit these resistances and supports, how's the RSI looking? How's the level 2, right? Can I short this? That's kind of the questions I'm asking, and you should be asking yourself as well. So beautiful, right? Now that we see that, all right, okay, we know exactly where we're trending. This resistance has been established for about 6 days now. We're getting to another one, right? Because we're getting to another resistance right here, we know one of two things will basically happen, right? Or one of three things. We could easily do this. Just break out of here and then go for that 5,300 target, right? We break out of there, we break out of 5,300, and then we go even higher up, okay? We go higher up, and then we break the 5,300 range right there, right around here, and then we end up breaking out of there, and then we try to challenge 5,500, which is going to be a really strong support, right? Or resistance, I meant. So now the goal is to basically catch some sort of long position with a tight stop loss for any coin, whether it's Bitcoin or not. And then you would ladder your winning position to get a possible 3 to 4% gain. And of course, you would try to sell on strength as well, right? Just so you can bank some of the house profit. That's what I'm not suggesting for you guys to do this. Don't get me wrong. This is giving you guys advice from my perspective of how I trade, because the ultimate goal is to share knowledge, right? Knowledge is not power unless you actually share it. So then you would shed off some of your position, right? Who knows if you might hang on. If you're feeling very bullish, we're not feeling, but if it is very bullish, you might want to target the next one higher than that, right? Another wave. We'll see how it goes. But the more favorable play, that I think it is, because that's what my friends and I are kind of anxious for. We're wanting. We want to short, guys. We want to short this guy. Stop loss fairly tight, maybe 5,300 almost, something like that. The reason we wanted to do this is because this is a higher probability play to win, okay? So now if you actually took a short position, if this ended up moving 2 to 3% down, maybe 4 to 5% on other ones, not only that, we get a chance to accumulate Bitcoin cheaper. We don't always want to break out. We want to be able to get the best bang for our buck. So if you only had enough, for example, 2 Bitcoin, maybe if it dropped 10%, you would be able to buy a little bit more Bitcoin, right? So it really depends on the circumstance. It's not all about percentage profit as well for the long term. So that's kind of my plans, guys, right? My plan is to actually short Bitcoin BAB. You guys know how I roll, man. I'm in a short position right now for BAB. I'm only down $100. I'm not worried at all. You guys see me break out fairly even for a lot of trades, right? So I'm really excited to see how this is going to play out. I think there's one more wave up there, maybe to 325, and I'm going to add more to my short position. Stop myself at 2% at most. Happy with that, right? We just have to be consistent over time, and we have to focus on trying to find these possible plays. We're basically hunters, and we find a lot of different, things that we can trade, but then we have to weigh it on this balance beam to see which one has a higher probability of us winning it, so we can make profit over time and be consistent, right? You don't want to just take every single trade that lands in your lap. I don't do it. There's a lot. Maybe there's 100 trades I can take a day, but I'll take only 7 or 8 that fit my personal criteria, right? So now, guys, once again, just a quick summary of this video, because I am basically a technical analyst. For the day, I don't like to forecast really long-term events, right? I deal with the structure that's at hand. And what's at hand right now is that we see this clear resistance that cannot break the 52, 5300 range. If we do break that, we got even more resistance, guys. I mean, take a look at all this structure, right? This is getting into a deadly no trade kind of zone where we're literally going back and forth 4%, right? Whereas before we were going back and forth a lot more. We're going back like 10%. So we squeeze into something called an apex where it gets smaller and smaller, and there's pressure from both sides, bears and the bulls, and it forms some sort of triangle. And that's exactly the structure we're at now. So I am waiting specifically for more confirmation candles of a bearish candle to basically add more to my short if I need to. But other than that, guys, like I think Bitcoin's gonna go for this one more right up there, 52.62 or something, and then we might downtrend, right? We might, if we do, perfect. Get us some more confirmation. Let's short this guy. And then if we added, if the bulls started adding a lot of volume and we're picking it up around 5,300 or 52, even 75, the volume picks up. We're starting to see green volume just spike up, right? Bam. Let's long this, right? Let's try to see if we can get it to 5,500, challenge to our double top at least or something like that with a really tight stop. And also taking some profit around 53.50, something like that, right? Just so you get some of the house money. And then let's just say we took a little bit look of a longer few days forecast, right? Like on a 4-day position. I mean, yeah, like we could very well just end up doing something like this as well, right? Where we end up getting higher than that. Okay, and then this ends up breaking out of here because it's very bullish right now. A short is a bad idea, honestly. Like, I'm not telling you guys to short. Don't ever think of that. People would think I'm crazy for shorting on this really big candle on a 4-hour chart right now, right? But every single time frame is played differently, so you got to be wise about that and acknowledge that fact as well. So now, let's say this broke out, guys. Like, this is a major resistance. This whole area right there is major resistance. It's going to be so hard to break 53.50. We've tried many times, failed there, tried to break there, failed, right? Not only did we fail, we miserably failed and came all the way back down. So this whole zone right here, guys, how can we not see it? It's a really big resistance right now. I think it's going to take, like, honestly, a week for us to crack this. And it's going to be a very boring week. That is my personal opinion. The daily chart, right? The daily chart is really, really not doing that much. The histogram is curving so little, right? So I'm really, really curious to see how this is going to play out, right? So major resistances, 53.20, around 55. Major supports, 5K. Now we're basically going to be playing in this range for a while. And there's not much more of an update other than that. So have yourselves a great rest of the Tuesday. Be sure to follow me on Twitter if you guys are not already. Click that subscribe button and let me know in your comments below how you're actually liking everything. And if you guys are still interested in my course, it's still there. It's a really good course, right? And I think a lot of people have said positive things about it. The best place to reach me for questions is through Twitter. I spend a lot of my time answering questions because I genuinely just want you guys to have someone that's approachable, someone that's not going to make you feel bad in any way when you have a genuine question, right? And that should be the ultimate goal of crypto. So anyways, if you guys are still interested in my course, go sign up for it. If you can't afford it, talk to me, guys. I'm so reasonable when it comes to things like this, as people can vouch for. So anyways, have yourselves a great rest of the day. Bye now. Take care.